If you're new to Medicare Advantage sales and or are considering selling maybe Medicare Advantage and or Medicare supplements, then this video is 100% absolutely for you. So let's start by please giving the video a thumbs up, and we do suggest subscribing if you're new to the channel. We're putting insurance sales content out and life insurance and final expense sales training videos like all the time. The 5 things that we're going to talk about today are: who should consider selling Medicare Advantage and Medicare supplements. Now we're talking as an independent insurance agent. The best way to get leads for selling Medicare insurance products, etc. How to get free mail drops. Now, these we're talking about 100% free. You're still getting the full commissions along with the leads being, well, exclusive. We're also going to touch on the first year commissions and the renewals, and we're going to address telesales versus face-to-face sales. This is probably the most important thing when it comes to selling Medicare products as an independent insurance agent. And guys, stick around to the end of the video. I'm going to show you how to get 2 really important things: the Medicare enrollment cheat sheet along with the senior sales door knocking guide. You're absolutely going to need both of these if you end up selling Medicare Advantage or Medicare supplements as an independent agent. So let's jump in. To me, there's really like 2 types of agents, or you're in one scenario or the other. And these put you in a position where you can sell Medicare Advantage and Medicare supplements even at a high level or even part-time. But basically, the 2 type of agents we're talking about are the final expense agents who've already got an existing book of business, or, and the second category would be the Medicare Advantage agents that have already sold over the phone and maybe worked in call centers. So the reason the final expense agent is really good at this is because they got the book of business. I mean, if you think about it, how hard is it to call up your existing life insurance client who's making a monthly payment and basically offer to just help them with their Medicare, answer any questions? A lot of times you're going to find out that they're in a plan that has a 0 monthly premium, and you're able to actually put them in something that may even be suited better for them. And then we have the call center agent. Look, here's the thing. The call center agent has the experience selling, so you understand how it works. So now to me, it makes sense to go out and work your local market. And I would even give a third type, which is a part-time agent. So to me, if you're in one of these scenarios or the other, you've got your final expense clients, or you've got some background selling Medicare Advantage, you can do this on a part-time basis. You don't have to kill yourself. You know, I'm assuming you already have an income, and the idea is to grow that book of business of Medicare Advantage clients so that you get those lifetime residuals. I mean, that's what selling Medicare Advantage to me is all about. So let's talk about leads. Now, this is a little controversial because I feel like most leads that you purchase or that you generate on your own, like if you're running your Facebook ads, are not compliant. So you could potentially have issues. And CMS, the Center for Medicare Services, is who makes these rules. So if you're following the regulations, you're really having not a lot of options. So to me, when it comes to leads, you've got your typical old school direct mailers. So you can do a 1,000-piece mail drop. You can do them, and my suggestion is in a local area, an area that you where you live, really. And then you work that local market. Whether you're doing it part-time or full-time, it doesn't matter, but that is the way to do it. To me, a second lead. Now, and again, we're talking about people that don't have their book of business, right? Because if you got your book of business, that's your lead right there. You got those final expense clients, those are all great leads. You can reach out to them, amazing. But we're talking if you don't have that, maybe a second really good option that we're seeing that our agents are doing a lot of is working in those food banks. So I've got a food bank video. If you're on my YouTube channel and you do a search result for food banks, it'll pop right up. So I would say watch that video because it really is a great resource for generating new clients, basically for generating leads. And I mentioned the free mail drops. Okay, here's how that works. So our agency has partners that specialize in Medicare, and agents that come on board with me, there's 2 things they get. One, they get the full commission from CMS. So they're an independent insurance agent. They're getting the full commission, lifetime renewals. So full commission, what am I talking about? So you're basically, if you switch a client from one Medicare Advantage plan to another one, you're getting over $300. So I don't know when you're seeing this video. This video is being made in 2025. So right now, agents are getting right around $313 per year when they switch a client from one plan to the next. Now, if it's a turning 65, if it's brand new to Medicare, then it's double that. So basically they're getting around $620 something. I'm not exactly sure, for whatever reason, I can't remember it right now, but it's over $620. But the renewal again is that $313, something around there. So that's a lifetime renewal. That's why we want to do that. That's, to me, why it's so important. And again, with the mail drops, the way our agency does it, so we're paying the full commission, and then for every 10 clients you bring, whether they're new to Medicare or you switch them from one plan to another, for every 10 clients, we're going to do a 1,000-piece mail drop. And if you reach out to the legitimate mail dropping companies that do this, that's basically a $550 value. There's probably someone else. I'm assuming we're not the only ones that are doing this. We are the only ones that I know of that are doing this. So I would say if this is something that's really interesting, yeah, you can reach out to me. Again, like I said, I just don't think anybody else is really doing this. I think other companies do other type of incentives, but that's ours. And like I said, I mentioned the comp, but with MedSups, it varies. So it's a lot different. But with the Medicare Advantage, yeah, it is $313. I did confirm it since I last opened my mouth. And it is $626 for the clients that are new. And again, the thing is, these are lifetime residuals. So as long as you keep the client on the books, and look, you're going to be doing service work, you're going to be reaching out, you're going to be most likely speaking with every client you sell more than once a year. You're going to be communicating. This is a relationship business. But by doing that, you're getting those lifetime renewals. You're getting residuals. You're getting residuals. It just goes on and on and on. Which leads us to the fifth and final thing I wanted to talk about, which is telesales versus face-to-face sales. So again, and I touched on it, with telesales, I feel like you're either going to be spending a lot of money on leads, like the big companies that sell, they're running the TV commercials. I mean, those are like $80 to potentially over $100 per lead. So to me, it doesn't make sense to do that as an independent insurance agent, which to me is really the way to sell if you're doing telesales. Now, again, if you've got the book of clients, that's different. You've been doing telesales and you've got a bunch of final expense clients. Well, yeah, you can sell them and speak with them about Medicare supplements and Medicare Advantage over the phone. Other than that, my recommendation really, and even if you have call center experience, of course, everybody wants to work from home, but in Medicare Advantage, it's just not the reality for most of us. You're better off working that local market. You're better off hitting those food banks. Really, that to me is the best way to do it. I just don't recommend purchasing expensive leads to sell Medicare Advantage. And if you try to generate your own leads, there's a good chance that they're not even going to be compliant. And if you get caught by CMS, if somebody turns you in, if you sell a Medicare Advantage plan to somebody who is a setup, and a lot of, believe it or not, attorneys will do this, you're going to have big problems. And it's really, 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 really going to suck. And with face-to-face sales, the nice thing is you work the local market. It's not like final expense where you may have to go 3, 5, 8 hours away, like what I did. I used to drive all over the state of Florida. You don't have to do that. You work the local market. That's your market. That's where you get professional at. So to me, that's the way to do it. Hopefully you got something out of this. If you'd like a copy of the Medicare enrollment cheat sheet that I mentioned at the beginning of the video, and the senior sales door knocking guide, just email me at doug@ufesonline.com if you'd like more information on working with me on our Medicare Advantage program, or if you want to do telesales and sell final expense insurance through our preset calendar appointments, just shoot me an email at that same address. As always, when you put the needs of your clients first, everything else will usually fall right into place. So get out there or get on that headset, but whatever you do, just make sure that you do something good for someone else today. Happy hunting.